So on this page, I will quickly go over the rules of working with surds. And after that, we are going to do some practice questions. And I've set these questions in increasing level of difficulty from number 1 until number 4. So stay with me. Okay, so the first rule goes like this. A root b is equal to a squared b, right? We know that the square root of a squared is equal to a. Therefore, that's why we're saying that a root b is equal to a squared b, or under the square root sign. Then the second rule goes like this. Let's say we have root of a over b. This is equal to root a over root b. Okay, so root of a over b is just the same as root of a over root b. Okay, this is just the same. Okay. So before we move on to the next question, please let's do the YouTube tradition. That click is very much appreciated. With that being said, let's move on to the next question. And the third rule goes like this. Let's say Let's say we have AB in the square root sign like this. So this is equal to root A times root B. This is just the same as that. And the fourth rule, this is a very simple one. Let's say we have the fourth rule. Let's say we have 2 root A plus 3 root A. As long as the term which is under the square root sign is the same, this is just equal to 5 root A. We have root A here and we have root A here. So you just add the terms outside the root signs. We have 2 outside the root sign and we have 3 outside the root sign. So we add this. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 root what? Root A. I'm sorry, root A. Okay, so I hope you got this. For example, let's say we have 4 root B minus 2 root B. So this is just the same as 2 root B. I hope I've clarified that one. Okay, I've clearly clarified that one. As long as the term which is inside under the square root sign is the same. We have root B and we have root B here. So therefore, we are just going to. So now that we are done with the rules, and I hope everyone is clear with the rules, let's get into the questions now. So we are going to simplify these surd forms. Okay, so let me just take a clean sheet and start from number 1 until number 4. So number 1a, we have 1 over root 3. Okay, so whenever you have a surd in the denominator, the first thing you do is to rationalize the denominator. What is to rationalize? To rationalize the denominator, you're just going to multiply every term with the denominator. Okay, so we're going to multiply with root 3 on top and with root 3 on the denominator, right? So I want you to keep this in mind. Let's say we have a root a times root a. This is equal to a, right? So a second example would be root b times root b. The solution will be just b. Okay, even c, whatever, c times root c is equal to c, as long as what's under the square root sign is the same. So therefore, at this point we have root 3 multiplied by root 3. Therefore, the solution will be 3. So therefore, the solution now will be 1 root 3 over 3. This will be the solution. So 1 root 3 is just the same as root 3 over 3. I'm sorry, over 3. So this is the solution. Root 3 over 3, that's the solution. Okay, so therefore we have question B again. So question B is saying that 6. Question B is saying 6 over root 8. Okay, we have to simplify. So therefore, as long as the surd form is on the denominator, the expression is not simplified. So therefore, we are going to rationalize the denominator. How do we do that? We're going to multiply with the denominator, which is root 8. We are going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator with the denominator. That's what rationalizing is. So therefore, root 8 times root 8 is equal to 8. The 6 times root 8 is equal to 6 root 8. So this is the solution, 6 root 8 over 8. So therefore, you have simplified the expression. Okay, so question 2 here is saying that, this is question 2a, is saying that root of 9 over 5, right? Simplify. Okay, so I've showed you earlier that this is just equal to root 9 over root 5. Okay, so this is going much simpler. What is the square root of 9? The square root of 9 is equal to 3 over root 5. So we are now at this part. The square root of root 9 is 3 over what? Over root 5. Okay, so as long as the denominator is still in surd form, the expression is not yet simplified. So therefore we want to rationalize the denominator. So how do you do that? We multiply each and every term with the denominator, right? The denominator is root 5. Therefore, root 5 times root 5 is equal to 5, right? Over. So root 5 times root 5 is equal to 5, right? Then 3 times root 5 is equal to 3 root 5. Therefore, you have simplified now. The solution is 3 root 5 over 5. Therefore, you're done. Okay, so number 2B is for you to practice. Okay, number 2B is for your practice. So we are moving on to question 3 now. Question 3 is a quite difficult one, so I want you to pay very close attention. Okay, so question 3A is saying that root 2 minus 3 root 2 over 2 plus 5 root 8 over 8, right? So that's what question number 3A. So we want to simplify this expression. Okay, so before we simplify this expression, I want to show you something. Let's say we have 3 root a times 4 root a. As long as what's under the root sign is the same, we have root a here and we have root a here. So therefore, you just multiply the numbers that are outside the root signs. In this case, we have 3 outside the root sign and we have 4 outside the root sign. Therefore, if we multiply 3 and 4, we get 12 root a. That will be the solution. So we are going to use that when we're simplifying this expression. Okay, so keep that in mind. So we are back to simplifying this expression. This is square root sign. So we have root 2 minus 3 root 2 over 2 plus 5 root 8 over 8, right? So what is the common denominator of this expression? The common denominator of this expression is 8, right? So we have 8 here is the common denominator. So therefore, this is just the same as 2 over 1. 2 over 1, right? So let me take another marker. This is running out. Okay, so that is just the same as 2 over 1. So therefore, 1 into 8 is 8. Therefore, 8 times root 2 is equal to 8 root 2, right? Then 2 into 8, which is 4. 2 into 8, which is 4. 4 times 3, which is 12 root 2. Then 8 into 8 is equal to 1. 1 times 5 is just equal to 5 root 8, right? So I want to show you a trick here. It's a trick I want to show you. So we have 8 root 2 minus 12 root 2, and we have 5 root 8, right? So pay close attention. So therefore, 8 root 2 minus 12 root 2. So therefore, when we get to this position, we have 5 root 2 times 2 times 2. That's the trick I wanted to show you. All over 8, right? 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8, right? So it's just the same as root 8, right? So after this position, we're now going further and saying 8 root 2 minus 12 root 2 plus 10 root 2. How did it become 10? So therefore, if you look at this part of the expression, we have 2 root 2 root 2. So this is just the same as root 2 squared times 2, right? So the square root of 2 squared is equal to 2. So therefore, 2 is going to go outside the root sign and multiply with 5. Therefore, 5 times 2 is equal to 10 root 2. Then all over 8. I hope that was clear. So therefore, negative 12 plus 10. I've showed you earlier when I was showing you the rules of dealing with surds, right? We are just going to do with the numbers that are outside the root signs, since the numbers that are in the root signs are the same. We have root 2, root 2, root 2. So therefore, negative 12 plus 10 is equal to what? 8 root 2. Negative 12 plus 10 is equal to negative 2 root 2. So negative 12 plus 10 is equal to negative 2 root 2 over what? So I'm just saying negative 12 root 2 plus 10 root 2. So for the moment you ignore the root sign, then you just say negative 12 plus 10. Negative 12 plus 10 is just equal to what? To negative 2, which will be negative 2 root 2 all over 8, right? So what's the solution now? 8 root 2 minus 2 root 2. What's the solution? The solution is going to 8 minus 2 is going to be equal to 6. Therefore, the solution will be 6 root 2 not done yet. You can simplify it. Okay, you can simplify 2 into 8 is equal to 4. 2 into 6 is equal to 3. So therefore the simplified version would be 3 root 2 over 4. Then you'll be done. You've simplified now. So therefore we're going to move on to the next question. The next question, which is number 3b, which is 2 root 3 minus 3 over root 3 plus 2 over root 3. So therefore you do this as practice. Therefore we're going to skip 3b and move on to question 4, right? You can just do that as practice. It's just the same with the one on top. Okay, so we're moving on to question 4 now. So we've moved on to question 4. So question 4 is saying that root 5 plus root 7 bracket root 5 minus root 7. So this is just simple double brackets expansion, right? So therefore we're going to expand the first bracket over the second bracket. So therefore we're going to say root 5 bracket second bracket, which is root 5 minus root 7, then plus root 7, root 5 minus root 7. Okay, so we've expanded the first bracket over the second bracket, right? So therefore we now have to do some further simplifications. And further, earlier I've showed you that root a times root a is just the same as a, right? Root a times root a is equal to a. So therefore that's the same thing we have here. Root 5 times bracket means multiplication. I hope you know this. So root 5 times root 5 is equal to 5. Therefore we have 5 here minus root 5 minus root 5 times root 7. Okay, or just saying negative, right? Negative 7. This negative 7 times root 5. Then we have plus here. We have plus root 7 times root 5. Then we have positive root 7, negative root 7. Okay, positive root 7 times negative root 7, right? So therefore a positive times a negative is going to be equal to a negative. Therefore negative root 7 times root 7 is equal to 7, right? So the only simplification that is needed is in the middle now. So therefore 5 minus root 5 dot root 7 plus root 5 dot root 7 minus 7. Okay, so we are at this point now. Okay, so at this point I want you to pay a bit much more attention. Okay, so we're at this point now. So we want to further simplify from this point, right? So I want to introduce a tree. So the tree goes like this. So let's let root 5 root 7 equal to b. So in every instance where we have root 5 root 7 in this expression, we're going to put b. Okay, so therefore we have 5. So we are now rewriting this expression and putting b in every instance where there's root 5 root 7, right? So we have 5 here. 5 minus root 5 root 7. So we are going to put b minus b plus root 5 root 7. We are going to put b again. Okay, since we have let root 5 root 7 equal to b, so we're going to put b minus 7, right? So I want you to play. So the trick is done now. The trick is done. So because we know that negative b plus b is equal to 0, right? So this part of the expression is just equal to 0. So we'll be left with 5 minus 7, right? So 5 minus 7 is equal to negative 2. So negative 2 is the simplification of this expression, right? So there's another way you can solve this this much quicker way. Okay, so for you to okay, so there's another way you can use to simplify question 4. Okay, which is a much shorter one, which is employing the concept of the difference of 2 squared. That is, if you're familiar with it. So these expressions, when you're using the difference of 2 squares now, these expressions, root 5 plus root 7 bracket root 5 minus root 7 is just the same as root 5 squared, root 5 squared minus root 7 squared. Okay, so it's just the same as this. Okay, so let me take another marker. This is running out. So it's just the same as this. So you know that the square root of this, we have root 5 squared. So root 5 squared is just the same as root 5 times root 5. So root 5 times root 5 is equal to 5. Right? So root 5 squared is equal to 5. Then minus root 7 squared is equal to 7. Right? So therefore, at this point, you now have 5 minus 7, which is just equal to negative 2. Right? So you only use this concept when you're familiar with the difference of two squares method. Because the question might come like this. This is root 5 plus root 7, right? Then it comes with a positive here, right? In this case, you cannot employ the difference of two squares method, okay? So with that, you'll be done.